Deidrey Francois here, and welcome to Here to Bloom episode number 34. This is the place for seekers and learners just like you and me, so please do take a moment and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you will know every single time that I post a bright idea. Today's talk is following my purpose isn't working.
Every second, every minute in time is a chance to discover, to open your mind. Take a minute, it's time to define. What are you meant to do? Who are you meant to be? Take it slowly, be the best you can be. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter what you do. 'Cause every breath is another opportunity. You are a star within. Be true to yourself and you'll always win. Yes, you are the brightest star that I've ever seen. Take all that you are, imagine and you will go far. Your imagination, it has no limitation. Every path is a path to creation. Thank the heavens, all your cards are in line. Do what you're meant to do, be who you're meant to be. Take it slowly, be the best you can be. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter what you do. 'Cause every breath is another opportunity. You are a star within. Be true to yourself and you'll always win. Yes, you are the brightest star that I've ever seen. Take all that you are, imagine and you will go far.
Oh my goodness, I gotta tell you, in the last few months, I have struggled with the idea that what I was offering just didn't seem to matter. You know, the whole idea of like my purpose just didn't seem to be working. So much so that I stopped doing this show and I felt like I was unable to increase my viewers. I mean, after all, I wasn't offering a politicized show. I wasn't trying to make a moron of myself to make other people laugh. I wasn't trying to be the next Oprah Winfrey, affording big names like the Russell Crowe's philosophy on spirituality. I certainly was not Dr. Phil's latest societal freak show of gossip and sickening behavior and scandal. I mean, really, all I had to offer was myself and my intention to share my lessons and musical passion and whatever little tidbits of wisdom that sort of came to me. You know, it's all I had, and yet it felt like it just wasn't enough. You know, how many of us creatives, like musicians, artists, crafters, quilters, whatever it may be, healers, entrepreneurs, light workers like ourselves feel that? How many times do we have to reinvent ourselves, right? To be at the top of the page of the scrolling masses? How many ways do we have to lay ourselves naked to be seen or heard? I mean, we've all seen artists like the sensual overkill and twerking of Nicki Minaj and Cardi B and Iggy, or the swinging on the ball naked Miley Cyrus's. I mean, first of all, I don't even have enough swear words to deliver rap like that. And let's face it, you have to have pretty strong hamstrings in order, like, and iron glutes, yeah, to twerk properly. But regarding the swinging on a ball thing, I would totally do that naked. Yes, I would, on a wrecking ball, if I got paid billions. Yeah, don't pretend like you wouldn't do it for billions. You would. I mean, we are told to go after our joy, but what if our joy and the feeling of the thing that we are compelled to do requires direct connection with others? For example, a masseuse can't do her work without her clients. An accountant can't do his work without being hired by others. We've placed value, haven't we, on the accountants and because of our taxes, let's face it, are a pain. And of course, the value on the masseuse, the masseuse, when we really literally are in pain. But other ventures that require universal connection are often placed on the back burner, aren't they? The ventures that are centered around creativity, right? Centered around creativity, music, art, or social or soul work, right, are often deemed optional and don't create the same stream of loyalty. And a rise to the top, right? A few people do get to rise to the top, absolutely. We have seen people rise to the top in those kinds of industries, but there are so many other talented and amazing and highly skilled light workers and creatives like myself who are left wondering, how do we keep going when it appears like there is absolutely no growth, right? No growth, no outside interest, no loyalty, no place to rest a dream, right? How do we keep going when our hearts want to do something so badly and the outside appearance, it doesn't seem like it's really making an impact? How do you keep going? I don't know.
I don't know which way I'm heading. It seems I'm lost again. I thought I knew just a moment ago. Now I'm playing so many roles, putting on a grand show. I've gotten so good at procrastinating. Excuses come easy, it seems, as my dreams threaten to stifle me. Why am I so afraid? I thought this was exactly what I wanted. I need to take some time. I gotta start praying. Do I fight or change my way? Avoiding my problems puts my body in pain. Won't you show me a way? Oh Lord, show me a
we continue in an environment that nurtures and feeds one group over another, an environment housing the chronically sexualized and easily distracted, the highly addicted, to instant pleasure and ever-decreasing attention span of society, right? When in fact all we really crave is just to share our authentic selves in our chosen heart paths. You know, while we definitely must all have and deserve paychecks for our work, we do this work not for money, but for the mere fact that it is our destiny. We do it because it's our destiny. And all we ever really want to do and be is ourselves. All I want to do is to feel good within my skin, and all I want to be is me. Oh, just as I am, and just as God made me, just as the love that put the smile upon my face, Mother Nature praises the beauty of individuality. The best that I can be is me. Oh, all I want to be is me, and all I want to feel is free. And all I want to do is to feel good within my skin, and all I want to be is me. Just as I am, and just as God made me, just as the love that put this smile upon my face, Mother Nature praises the beauty of individuality. The best that I can be is me. Oh, be is me. The best that we can be is ourselves, you know? I just thought I should mention that every song that you hear on this today will be my songs, except for one song. But I did write every one of the songs that you hear on this show. So here are some of the observations that I noticed in myself. And the questions that it incited as I was struggling with this very thing, this very idea that it seemed like I just wasn't enough and what I had to offer, my purpose didn't seem to have a great impact. So the observation was that I had lost sight of who I was doing it for. And the questions that it brought up for me, and I brought up these questions also, not just for my own journey and for my own process of healing through all of that, but also to, ask you perhaps to think, maybe to consider thinking about some of these things and maybe, apply it to your own situation. So I had lost sight of who I was and who I was doing it for, mainly who I was doing it for. So the questions are, who is my audience? Who is my target market? What is their age? What are their ages? What is the gender? What is the tastes, the interests? What do they watch? How do they consume that information? What I found was I had to ask myself these kinds of questions, and because without a clear idea of who my audience is, how in the world are we supposed to really bring them our messages? And I'm just going to lay it out the way that my brain gave it to me. You can't bring bacon to a cow and expect it to eat it. If bacon is what we're offering, then we need to find the right audience that will consume it. It actually is as simple as that. And I'm just starting to really understand these things. The other observation I had was I want what I do to mean something. And something for me meant a version of success that I was not seeing. And a question that came up was, how do I define my efforts? How do I define what my efforts mean? Like, what is the something that it needs to mean? How do I measure that it is making a difference? How do I define success in my chosen work? Like, what does success feel like, right? What does it look like? What do I deem to be an accomplishment? Do I know someone who is successful in my field? What are they doing? Can I mimic their process? Without a measure or definition of how our work means something or makes a difference, how will we ever know, right, that it does? That's something that was sort of a stickler for me. Like, how do I really know that it's really making a difference? And the other question was, is it enough for the one person that is touched or changed by what it is that we share as light workers or as healers or as whatever it is that we're doing, creatives? Is it enough that one person gets touched by our work, right? In my observations, I also realized the biggest one for me, I think, was that I forgot my why. The why is the thing that makes you get up in the morning and decide that, I am going to do this. This is for me and I'm doing it. The why is that spark of energy. And I had forgotten my why. The divine idea that led me to doing this work in the first place and why it was important to me. So the questions that came up for me is, well, how does this work serve my highest good? What about this work do I enjoy? Why do I still enjoy it? Right? Why do I still enjoy it? I mean, I can answer all of these questions for you, but really and truly what I'm trying to do is to get you to consider those for yourselves. Maybe you are facing something where you're thinking, what I'm doing, it just doesn't seem to matter. And maybe you're at that, you're just on the ledge, of just stepping away from it. And something like, a question that also came up is, if I had all the income stripped away, would I still choose to do this work? I got to tell you, I remember when I was deciding whether to keep my real estate license active. I was a realtor before stepping into music full time. And it is ironic that, just the year before I decided that I was going to let go of my real estate license, that of course the year after would be the global crash of the music industry and the entertainment industry as we know it, right? Real estate, the irony is that real estate is thriving more than ever as a result of the pandemic. I don't know if it's as a result of or just because it's thriving anyway. But, when I was deciding in 2019 whether I would keep my license, I asked myself this question. Deidrey, do you really love real estate? Like, do you? And I really couldn't answer that question with any kind of integrity and say yes. I just couldn't. And then I asked myself, if I knew that I only had 10 years or less to live my life, would I choose real estate over something else? Over music, over whatever? And I said, no, I would not. I would not choose it. Because you see, I disliked the flip-flopping uncertainty of clients. I disliked that. I disliked the sort of the barbaric competition and the attitude that I needed in order to stay on top of my game in real estate. Clients just sort of had this sort of one foot in, one foot out. I don't do gray areas very well. I'm not really a gray area kind of person. I'm sort of I need to, almost like an all or nothing. When I give everything I've got, I don't know how to do halfway. I don't know how to do that. And so, it was the same thing for me in real estate. And I just didn't like who I was in it. So my final question really for this particular why factor is, do you like who you have to be in order to continue doing this work? Right? Do you like it? And if you can say yes to this, then spread your wings, darling. Right? Because you have your why. Woohoo! All the good I see, all that I can be, all the ways that Spirit unfolds and reveals in me every breath I breathe. Evermore I grow in the light I know. All the love I need flows through my darkness, healing me, teaching me as I breathe. So I live each day in love and grace and peace. I know I'm not alone. Yes, I live each day, each breath I take, it fills my heart with joy. I was born to dance, I was born to sing, I was born to spread my wings. By the way, this song is a co-write by a beautiful lady called Frances Gower. This is her melody. These are my lyrics. And this is also her playing. I live each day in love and grace and peace. I know I'm not alone. Yes, I live each day, each breath I take, it fills my heart with joy. I was born to dance, born to sing. I was born to spread my wings. I am born to dance. I am born to sing. I am born to spread my wings. I am born to dance. I am born to sing. I'm born to spread my wings. Oh yes, I'm born to dance. Oh yes, I'm born to sing. I am born to spread my wings. The other observation that I had was that I wanted to be liked. I wanted to be liked. I mean, who doesn't want to be liked? Right? And to a certain degree, being liked was all about quantity and not about quality. I forgot what I was worth. And I equated increasing viewership, the number of likes, this number of subscriptions, the outside approval of my gifts with my own inherent value, meaning I had totally forgotten my own value and equated my value to the human doing rather than the human being, right? Do you know your value? It's the only question, really. What are you equating your value to? Is it quantity or quality? And is it based upon what someone else decides your value is? The other thing that I observed is I want to be able to focus more on my creativity and less on the business of my product. And I want to do what brings me joy, darn it. I just want to do what brings me joy. I don't want to have to worry about all of that other crap. Questions that came up for me when I thought about that. Am I prepared to pay for it? Because you see, if I don't want to do the things that I must do, I may very well have to pay for it. So there's this 80-20 rule, and it's an old mathematical formula, which was created by this Italian economist. His name is Vilfredo Pareto. And although this rule referred to wealth and management and ownership, etc., it is something that really must be applied to creatives, light workers, business owners, musicians, whatever as well. If you're doing anything that, like, your heart work is your business, guess what? You're going to have to think about the 80-20 rule, honey. So, the truth is, as creatives, we spend 80% of our time being creative. Hands up if that's you. Let me put my feet up too. All right. 80% of my time, totally creative. I mean, this is my idea of bliss. This is my idea of heaven. Hello, hallelujah. I'm okay now. But you know what? To fulfill our purpose, our art really must be consumed. Right? It has to be consumed. Someone's got to hear it. Somebody's got to see that beautiful art that you made. I mean, some people are not even like that. Some people are fine with being creative. I used to be that person. Fine with being creative, and nobody had to hear it because it was my journal. You know, it was where I took my emotional dump into a song, and then I didn't care if anybody heard it after that. And then for some reason, it just was like, wait a minute. What's the point? Everybody else deserves to hear my emotional dumping. And so the harsh reality is this: to fulfill our purpose, our art must be consumed, or we totally stick a cork in the flow. We do. And so we have to share it. If we only do 20% of the work in order to share the 80% of the creativity, I'm recognizing that we will only get 20% fulfillment. Right? As creatives, we need to challenge ourselves to reach beyond that 20% that we think should go into business, or some of us even less. Hands up for that one. Ha! Right? we need to reach that 80%, right? That goes towards business and promotion. Even if all we ever do is add like a little teeny weeny 1% more each time, we got to get ourselves to that 80%, because 80% is what's going to get us that feeling that, okay, I'm reaching more people, I'm doing more work, my work is reaching people, yada, 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 right? Another observation that I made for myself. Being a creative person is sometimes really bloody hard work, and it's not joyful at all. I don't even know how else to say this nicer. You see, this work is sometimes energy zapping. It is time consuming. It requires a ton of effort. It requires time away from your family. It requires a whole bunch of studying. It requires a whole bunch of education, and you're constantly learning. You're constantly putting yourself in situations that you have no bloody idea what to do with, and yada, 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 right? But here's the question that came up for me after I noticed this about myself. Who decides how much energy and effort I give to my work? Right? But what about you? Who decides how much energy you give to your work? Are you living up to someone else's expectations? Like, are you supposed to give this much? Like, are you supposed to? Who says that? And what is your standard of excellence? Right? I mean, I set the bar really high for myself in terms of, I want it to look this way, and I want it to, when I sing, I don't want to be pitchy. I know, whatever it is, I want to have perfect pitch. I can't have a pitchy song. No, whatever it is, and I can't pull that off, So what is your standard of excellence? What's mine? And do we also understand the value of rest? Oh my God, that one is so hard for me. I feel like I'm missing out on stuff. I really do. Rest is not something that we don't have a great relationship. So I need to understand the value of rest. Do I value my body? Do you value your body? Being depleted serves absolutely no one, right? It just doesn't. And are there aspects of my work, of our work, where we can be flexible? Those are some of the questions that I hope that maybe you will consider. You know what? I don't know. I really don't know if you have ever had any of these thoughts, ever had any of those, considered any of those things that I'm talking about today. And I don't know. Have you? I'm checking while I'm trying to buy some time. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know if you have ever had any of these thoughts present in your passions, but it really has in several areas in my life, to be honest. And so I thought that I would share these thoughts, and perhaps you are on the edge of a decision to give up on something that you really are called to do on this plane, right? If it's something that is your thing to do, maybe this is an opportunity for you to think about that, The dream you were given from the moment you were given the spark of life. To dream the impossible dream. To find the unbeatable fall, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, and to love pure and chaste from afar, to try far too weary to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest to follow that star. Oh, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march in hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'd only be true to this glorious quest, then my heart would lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this. Oh, that one man scorned and covered with scars still strolls with every last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable, the unreachable, the unreachable star. Ooh, I'll dream the impossible dream. Yes, I will dream. I will reach the unreachable star. Isn't that a beautiful song? Oh my goodness. All right, here we are. You know what? In the end, I recognize that greatness does not necessarily mean popularity. And you know what? I'm okay with that. And I get that even my passions do fall under the 80-20 rule. 20% going to creativity, and I gotta find that 80% wherever it is to go into business and into marketing, if that is what I want to do. If my idea of success requires a lot more than I'm expecting right now. And no matter how great I am, or how absolutely wonderful my content is, I must acknowledge that it is hard work, okay, in every step of the process. And bigger than that, I must celebrate me. Celebrate my efforts, as tiny as they may seem, because you know what? It takes courage. It takes courage to do what we do. It really does, you know, to step in front of that stage, to put yourself in that place of vulnerability all of the time. It takes courage to do that. It really does. And sometimes, you know, like when you have people looking at you thinking that this is so easy. No, it isn't. Sometimes we step on that stage, you know, and our fingers are tingling, our minds are going crazy, our bodies are nervous, nerves. But you know what? We do it anyway. It takes courage to do the work that we do. And we must continuously celebrate ourselves for taking that step forward. You know, when most people would settle for the high-paying job and keep their creative side as a hobby, we say no. No, that's your thing. Do your thing. I'm going to be me. No excuses. 100% all in. That's me. And we must continuously check in to remember the innate value that we are and the value that we bring. Because the value that we are and the value that we bring are two different things. We must surround ourselves with people who can remind us of that when we falter. Because you know what I'm realizing? We will all falter again and again and again. We all do. And I want to tell you, you're not alone in your doubt. Oh my God. Hello, if you need a doubt partner, I'm totally it. You know? But we all experience it. And so we just have to keep moving forward, right? You're not alone in that. You're not unique. I'm sorry to let you know, you're just not. And so one small step at a time, we're just consistently, perseveringly, diligently moving forward. 1% till we get to that 80% of whatever it is that we decide we need to do. While we retain that 20% of bliss. In the 20% of that, we can feel 100% bliss and satisfaction. Oh, it's great. You know, I've got to tell you, a gift received by one person is just as important as a gift received by many. It doesn't negate the quality of the gift or the value of the gift just because one person receives it as opposed to 10,000. The gift is still the same gift. It's still the same. So when you touch that one person out there, when you go out and you are putting your healing hands on that one person lying on that bed, and you think, I'm not doing enough because this is the only person that I have touched today, understand that that gift is just as significant as if you were to do that for a stadium of people, because that person feels the same love and connection from your gift, from your decision to share who you are. And you know what? Yes, I'm talking to myself. I always choose topics that really are meant for my own healing. I do this for me. My why? The who I do it for, that very first question, who am I doing it for? It is a very selfish thing that I'm doing. It is all about me because I have so much to heal. And you know what? I'm hoping that by admitting my flaws and opening myself and allowing you to see that vulnerability in me, that you too can consider healing whatever it is that you're feeling. You know, I finally remembered my why. And guess what? I set my intention a while ago, that intention statement that I usually start off with. I decided to leave it for last this time. It was in my intention all along. It was my intent. It is my intent to share my gift of song, my love and my passion, to honor and to serve spirit. And that is the divinity that dwells within each and every one of us and in you. My intention says, let it reach whomever it is meant for. You see, it is not up to me to decide who this message is for. My job is to ensure that it is delivered to the best of my ability, using 20% of my time to create it, 80% of my time to make sure that someone gets it. However it is meant to, meaning that if someone comes on and you're here live like you are now, great. If you send it to somebody and they watch it later, great. If they hear about it from a friend and they just simply tell that friend all of the contents of whatever was discussed and that friend goes and uses that information, great. If you send it to a friend and that friend sees it and totally dismisses it because it is not for them, great. Great. Because you see, the other part of my intention says, without judgment. Not even judgment by myself. I am just the channel through which these messages are expressed. Nothing more, nothing less. My job is to allow it to flow through me and to deliver it the best that I can. That's it. That's it. Without judgment. It is not up to me to judge my work. The next part of the intention statement says, is in humility and grace. Meaning, I do this not for fame, not for glory, but to serve. To serve. That part is really important to me. And that means that, it doesn't mean that, by the way, that I will not accept fame or glory should it come. As a matter of fact, I welcome whatever it is that is meant for me. I welcome it. If it is fame and glory, so be it. But it just means that I come from a space of humility, knowing that what is shared through me was gifted through me. This is not about me. It's gifted through me. My job is to share. My job is to serve. The other part of my intention statement says, in grace, in love, and light, and understanding that I am really hardly perfect. Right? My heart may be in the right place, and sharing everything that comes from me, right? But it is first, and it must, absolutely must be filtered first through the brightest source of all that is. That is the light of the divine. That's why I say in grace and in love and in light. Here is my intention statement in its fullness. It is my intent to share my gift of song, my poetry, my love, and my passion to honor and to serve spirit. Let it reach whomever it is meant for, however it is meant to, in humility and grace and in love and light. Yes. And in love and light. That is my intention. And it is something that I say every single time I step in front of the camera. You see, all we can ever offer is ourselves. All we can ever expect in return is based on just how much time, energy, and effort that we put into our passions in the first place. If you like anything that you heard today or are hearing, please do hit that like button for me, would you? And leave me a comment at the end of the video. Share your thoughts, share your opinions, share your ideas for another message from me. Let me know what it is that may be on your heart that you would really like to hear. All I can offer really, again, is myself and my little tidbits that I've picked up along the way. That statement, that intention statement, is my why. It is my great why. It is the reason why I get up every day and do this. Why I put so much time and effort and energy into making sure that I do it. So I suggest, I invite you to perhaps do something like that for yourself, right? Create an intention statement for your work and live by it. Live by it. Say it every time you go to see a client. Say it every time you pick up your pins to knit. Say it every single time you pick up a paintbrush. Say it every single time you're about to create something. Say it every time you step through the door of your business. Say it every single time you're about to meet anyone. Say it. It is your intention statement. It is your why for doing what you do. It is your why for shining your light. This one is called I Am Here for God. And again, this one is my song. I'm here to wake up. I'm here to shake it up. May I live in authenticity. Every day I'm waking up. Every day I shake it up. For the highest and best of who I'm called to be. I'm rising higher. I'm loving deeper, opening wider. I am here for God, lift spirits higher, connecting deeper, opening wider. I am here for God. God in me, God as me, God through me. Come on now. I am here for again. God in me, God as me, God through me. I am here for God. Come on, sing it out. Come on and sing it out. God through me. I am here for God. One more time now. God in me, God as me, God through me. I am here for God. You know, I sure hope that you enjoyed today's message, and I would urge you to check out my website at www.deidrey.com. And again, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe and hit the notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I have a great idea. And also, please do leave a comment at the end of the video, not necessarily in the live section, because it actually helps a ton if you leave it at the bottom of the video in the public section. Let's see. Oh yes, and please do check out Rick's website. He's offering 25 years of experience for all of your technical needs. That's right. And also please do check out my Facebook page. So if you haven't followed or liked my Facebook page, please check it out. I would absolutely love it if you would reach out to me and stay in touch. Share your ideas with me. I am spirit-filled, renewed, and rebuilt. I've got a song in my heart. With joy I dance my part. I am on cloud nine, one with the divine. Got a smile on my face, and I'm ready to face the world. Everybody now, here I come. You know I just want to leave you with a smile on your lips, right? Here I come, and a song in your heart, honey. Oh yes, here I come, and a pep in your step. Oh yes, here I come. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I am harmonized, upgraded, and revised. I've got a love in my heart and the courage to start. I am on cloud nine, one with the divine. Gratitude and grace, and I'm ready to face the world. Come on, sing it. Here I come. Hey. Yes, come on now and sing it. Here I come. I really hope you enjoyed it today. Here I come. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, yeah. Oh yes, here I come. I'm ready. Now if you're ready to ask yourselves these questions and really answer them honestly, come on, say I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Here I come. I'm ready. Should it and that thing. Here I come. I'm ready. Should it and that the day up, baby. Here I come. I'm ready. Oh my goodness. Do take care, beautiful ones. Namaste. Love you, love you, love you lots. I totally appreciate you. Yes, I do. I'm ready. I'm ready. Here I come. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Here I come. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Go on now and spread your wings. I'm ready. Deidrey Francois, out.